Welcome back, boys and some girls. I'm trying something new. Behind me you can see put like a blanket and like two bags and a blanket over them so I can actually record during the day. I don't like the overly like bright. If I record during the day I don't like the color stuff, so I'm trying something. We'll see how it goes. Okay, now for the main stuff. I had a surprisingly hard time with this game. I mean, I was stuck on the final level for quite a while, and I have to actually thank a viewer who actually gave me some tips on how to actually finish this game, so thank you. It was a fun experience overall, but I am a bit worried about the build variety. You will see. The subject in this video will be for the story. I'll be honest with you, I have no clue. I didn't watch any of the cutscenes, but from what my monkey brain understands of the story, it's about going into the center of the beer vortex that you can see from the hub and stopping the corruption inside of it or whatever, which is like kind of a few bosses in a tube or something. And the story is being told through a few silent cutscenes with very cool music in the background that overall puts you in a certain mood while you're playing. Gameplay is the meat of the game. This is where the fun happens. Combat is the main aspect, but you also get some upgrades to go along with it, but most of them are not that important. You start with the base kit of 2 weapons, 2 items, 3 upgrade slots, 2 potions, and 1 special item. Later on you can upgrade some of those slots to have more potions and more upgrade slots, but that's pretty much it. Combat consists of basic attacks, dodges, alternating between weapons, and item usage. Sadly, however, there does appear to be a meta, and some builds are completely useless or passable, while others are dominating like crazy. You get a set amount of potions to use during your whole run, and if you use all of them, you may be able to buy some at like random points throughout the levels or at the store at the very end of the level. You also get a full health restoration at the end of every level after the bosses. When you're fighting enemies, you can use many different weapons, which are not very balanced. Some of them are clearly way better than others. Playing with those weapons can feel like a god, while playing with certain weapons can feel like taking an Uber with a blind driver. You can find weapons like big swords, small swords, crossbows, but you can also find weird weapons like a brush, which is kind of a spear that does root every finisher, and root means basically that you can lock your enemy to a location and them not just being able to move for a few seconds. You can also combo your weapon to deal more damage. You can do that by doing a few attacks with your weapon, and then you see a symbol appearing above your head. Then you can press the second weapon and then it's gonna do a finisher, and obviously it depends on your weapon. That's gonna result in a different finisher. For example, let's say you have a kataras and a crossbow. If you start the combo with the kataras and finish with the crossbow, you will get a different finisher than if you do the other way around and finish with the kataras. Besides your weapons, you also get items that you can use. They're called trinkets in the game. Each one of the trinkets does something different that can be comboed with other trinkets or weapon depending on the upgrade that you got for that round, obviously, and can result in a very fun playstyle. Some of the trinkets you can get are things like bombs, grenades, fire aura, blade cyclone, and a couple of more cool stuff. Trinkets have a cooldown after each use and can be lowered by getting the correct cards. There is one type of special item that has a unique slot in your inventory, and you won't get that every round. I don't even know what's like the drop percentage, but it's very low. I got it I think like 4 times in my 18 hours that I played the game. So it might be something related to, I don't know what, but I mostly got it whenever you buy an upgrade, you get that upgrade immediately for that next run. So those are kind of the only times I got those, and maybe like 1 or 2 others. But besides that, nothing. They're extremely rare, or I don't know how you get them. But there are stuff that are pretty OP most of the time. You can gain like the ability to jump upward and then do like a finisher onto the enemy, or you can also gain a shield that defends you or whatever amount of damage for like a set duration of time, you and your allies that stand around you. So they're pretty OP. I guess that's why you don't find them like every round. And now for the final part of your kit. As I said at the start, you also get upgrade slots. Those upgrades change your playstyle drastically depending on what you get. So you can have a strong start and then fall off later, or the other way around, and just, get the strong at the end. It all depends on what you get. Upgrades can be things like more damage if you meet a certain condition or do a certain action. You also can get a shield by doing finishers on enemies, and there is some kind of special upgrade that give you a big positive and a big negative, and you need to learn to use them or just leave them alone if you don't think you can manage the downside, because it can be very dramatic. Things like 50% more attack speed, but you also take 50% more damage from the enemies. It's your choice, and that's pretty much the end of the kit and what you can upgrade. But before I go into the enemies and the maps, there's also a passive upgrade boost that you get while defeating certain enemies. It gives you stuff like damage, attack speed, health, and a bunch of other stuff. You mostly get them when you defeat like big bosses or mini bosses, stuff like that. You can get a card that does it so that you get also for more stuff basically, and it's not a guarantee. You can find them like in a few places, but they're pretty nice, and you can combo them with the regular upgrade cards to do like a bunch of cool stuff. For example, there is a card that gives you more damage based on how much more HP you have from where you started. So you start with 100 HP. If you have 200, I think it's like 0.2 damage if I'm not wrong for every like 50. I don't know what. There is like a number. It's pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, now I will start with the maps because they are the shorter one. There's not a ton to tell about them. Each level is its own map with different art and background as well as enemies. Each level has a weapon level attached to it, meaning the first level you will find weapons that are level 1 or 2, and at the 5th and final level you will find weapons that are level 5, which appear to be the max for now. I'm assuming it's going to be obviously expanded later on, as even when you finish the game it says it's the end for now, so there's probably going to be more. Maps have cool secrets hidden within them that you will find by accident, or if you have a sharp sense of perception, you will also find them. They will reward you with items, upgrades, and weapons. Enemies range from being completely brain dead, easy to kill, to Mihawk fighting Zoro back in like episode 10 of One Piece, something like that. So very, very depend. I will give credit where it is due. Enemies are different from one another and shake the playstyle quite a bit. Some enemies are ranged, some enemies are melee, some will rush you, some will pin you down, damage you over time. You also get like a shielded enemy that seem to be attacked from behind or whatever. They're not, like they don't have their guard up or something. Overall, I do like the enemy design, even if I hate some of them, and they do feel like a bit they're cheating here and there. For the bosses, there's a lot of variety, and a lot, I mean 5, because there are only 5 levels, but it's nothing that you haven't seen before. Everything, don't expect like attacks never seen before. It's just a classic system of like you attack, you wait, you have to find the time when you actually can attack, combo it with different stuff to gain like invulnerability, what do you call it, frames, stuff like that. It's nothing insane, but it is fun, and you do need to have certain builds, and if you have like a certain build, it's going to make your life 10 times easier or harder depending on the boss and the build, obviously. And after each boss you get loot, upgrade, and you get to heal yourself to full and move on to the next level. I had a lot of problem with the game because I tried not to cheese the game with the like broken strategies and whatever people were saying on the Steam discussions, but the moment I stopped and actually went for the cheese, I just won on the first round. I finished from level 1 to the 5th. I just finished the final boss easy. I simply went for a stun lock build. Like you have a one weapon that has the finisher, the stun lock finisher, and then you have like a one weapon that it actually attacks fast, so you get more and more finishers. So I basically just spam the finisher on them, and I gained like health back from a card that I got. So it was so easy. I just stood there like stun locking them and killing them endlessly. It was pretty easy. It's kind of, I think, not balanced, and I don't think it should be that way. I think all the builds should be able to carry you to the end. But to give credit again where it is due, it is fun even if you lose to like a bad build. Playing and getting like halfway through and stuff, it is fun even if you have like a broken bad build that you can't actually do stuff with. It is pretty fun. There's one build that I want to kind of shout out that is very dumb and useless, but it is fun. Is using the shield, and like there is like a heavy sword that you can push enemies with. So whatever you push them off the edge, they instantly die. So you have the shield up, which you don't take damage from the shield if they attack you from the front. If they attack you from the back, you do take damage. And every time an enemy hit the shield, you can do a finisher. So you basically have the other weapon queued up. You have the shield up. They attack you, instantly do the finisher and push them off the map. It works on even mini bosses, but it doesn't work on big bosses, sadly. But it's so broken, you can just instantly kill every enemy. It's very dumb. The combination of being able to dash across gaps without cooldown and the variety of animations and finisher you can use, all of this together results in a very fun, fast-paced roguelike game that you can play for a few minutes to fill gaps in between other games. The art style of the game is a very stylized, cartoonish. Everything looks nice. Every level is different from the next one. I wasn't blown away by the style or anything, but it does have a certain feel that devs are going for, and it's cool, but that's pretty much what it is. I do find the music to be a bit overwhelming, a bit too much sometimes, but you can just lower the sounds, and that's what I did. And that's pretty much I have to say. I mean, it's nice, it's cool, but that's all it is. For performance, this was the chef's kiss. 0 problems, 0 bugs, no visual glitches, no crashes, no freezes, pure stable FPS from the start to the end, nothing. I did have one thing, now I think about it, I did have one thing where the pool that's supposed to heal you at the end of the level did not have the healing potion inside of it. Now this could be because I needed to do something, I played the level different, because it happened to me twice in a row, and then the next one everything was fine. So I'm not sure if it was a bug or if I did something to prevent it. Maybe I didn't notice and I took a card that changed it, but I don't think so because I read every card I take. So it could be a bug, so I'm gonna like put it like an asterisk. It's not necessarily something that is a bug, so I don't know, take it, use it, do whatever you want with it. Also, I have a 3080 on my computer and an i9, so keep that in mind when you calculate the stuff. The game costs $25 with no microtransaction. It is on Discord, it is on discount right now for $18. All of this is a conversion from my currency, so I'm not sure exactly how much it will be for you, so check it before you buy it, obviously. And there is a small drama I saw on the Steam discussions. It is about the fact that demo players have like a certain skin, the guinea pig, that players who join in later don't have. There is no way to buy it or pay somebody else to give it to you or anything like that from what I see. But I know some people care about this. I don't know why they would, but some people do. So here you go. This one is not me, for you. Enjoy. Windblown, it's fun. Go play it. Don't have much to say. You either like it or you don't. It's pretty much a binary. It is a roguelike game with all the stuff that you know about roguelike games. If you don't like it, you don't like it. There is no something new here that will actually, I think I like roguelike games now. It won't be that way. If you don't like it, you just won't. If you do, then you will have fun. That's pretty much it. Took me 18 hours to complete the game. I have all the achievements. The last achievement I got was unlocking all the gifts, not all of them, most of them, 30 gifts. And it's kind of working against yourself because some of the gifts are the upgrades I was speaking about all the way across, like the upgrade cards. Those are kind of working against yourself because some of the cards are horrible and useless. So if you buy them to actually put them into the rotation, you actually work against yourself because you have less chances to get the good cards now. So it is kind of dumb, but I had got it anyway because why the hell not? I do recommend the game. The game is a 7 out of 10 for me. If you fix the balancing and maybe rethink some of the upgrades, it can definitely be an 8, but nothing more than that for me. It's the same soup I ate last year, so it's just a different bowl. Same soup, different bowl. Already tasted it, it's nice, but I already had it a few times. But that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, thank you. If you didn't, let me why not. I actually really enjoyed this review, I have to be honest with you. Had a hard time in it, and I love challenges. It was fun for me. And keep us safe, see you in the next one. Bye bye.